Hello, my name is Richard. I'm sitting in a tree right now. I have a Kindle stuck in a branch, a can of Spindrift sitting next to me. I am a recovering religion addict, and I am now known as the Irreverent Nerd. Welcome to the inaugural episode of the Irreverent Nerd Podcast. As my intro said, I am sitting in a tree right now outside in nature because I enjoy it. Damn it, so deal with it. So, welcome to the Irreverent Nerd Podcast. As I said, this is the inaugural. By the way, that means first episode of my new podcast. This is my second foray into the podcasting world. My first one was known as the Ancient Eclectic Podcast. It was short-lived. I might come back to it at some point, but my initial run was only 6 episodes, and I was reading through the Iliad. Yes, the Iliad. Hey, sue me. I enjoy reading, and I've always had a secret dream of being an Audible narrator. So, hey, Audible, if you're listening, come find me. Anyway, let me tell you a little bit about myself. So, first off, I am a recovering religion addict. Is that the sum total of who I am as a person? No, but it has had a big impact on my life. I grew up in a very conservative religious tradition. You'll hear me talk more about that as the podcast goes on. But suffice to say, for much of my life, at least outwardly, I was a rule follower, never cursed, never smoked, never drank, didn't have sex with anyone until I married my wife. So yes, I was a virgin until I got married. I know. Gasp. But yeah, like that, I was a rule follower, right? I wanted the approval of my in-group of people, which was primarily the members of my conservative religious tradition. I also wanted the approval of my deity, who I now realize probably had nothing to do with any real God, but was a god, an imaginary god, really, living inside of my head. So in essence, I was having a relationship with myself, which sounds a little dirty, but yeah, it was kind of weird, honestly, and I'm still recovering from that. I'm still in process, but roughly 2 years out now from kind of the first official stage of leaving my religion of birth. It's been rough, but I'm trying to learn how to have fun without feeling guilty about it. And yes, I realize there are some kinds of quote-unquote fun that are genuinely destructive and can cause harm. I'm not talking about that kind of fun. I'm talking about, like, just going out, clubbing with your friends, as I did for the first time in my life. Yes, I'm 38 years old, and I went clubbing for the first time a few weeks ago. No joke. And I enjoyed it. It was a little weird, my first experience. I just kind of stood around and just observed for most of it. I was like, I've seen this in movies, but now I'm experiencing it in real life. Interesting. I felt a little out of place as a 38-year-old man wearing a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, yes, the 1987 version, I'm a millennial, so sue me, a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles shirt and a pair of jeans. I was not dressed to go clubbing, but that's okay. I had fun anyway. My buddies and I were out there as part of a epic 3-day bachelor party weekend. No, we did not go to any strip clubs or hire any strippers. We were not interested in that. We went to breweries, bars, sports bars, karaoke bars. We went to Topgolf. We had a good time. We had fun. And I had my first experience clubbing. We went to 2 clubs that night. The second one was a little weird, and we bounced from there, or at least half of us did, pretty quickly. I went to another club just this, was it last? Weekend before last. And I enjoyed that too. Like, I'm getting a little bit more comfortable and realizing, like, no, like, I can actually go out and have fun and go dancing, and no, I don't have to go home with some girl and get her pregnant or have AIDS. Like, no, that's not what I'm about. That's not what I'm there for. I'm just there with my friends to have a little fun. I'm married. I'm attached. Sorry, ladies. We can dance a little bit on the floor. Sorry, no grinding, no thrusting involved here. Not here for that. Here to have some fun, have a few drinks, maybe a conversation, a little dancing, beer with my friends. That's it. And that's okay. So yeah, I'm learning to have fun. I'm learning to not live in my head so much. I'm realizing now I'm not as naturally analytic as I have so long thought I was. I do have somewhat of a bent towards that, but it's definitely a nature and nurture thing. I think I have found that is kind of my niche. I work in supply chain for my career, and analysis is definitely a big part of that. That's on my LinkedIn page. In fact, supply chain analyst. No, that's not my official title, but I certainly do some of that in my line of work. I'm outdoors, by the way. As I told you already, I'm sitting in a tree. This is actually in the woods behind the parking lot of where I work. So you're going to hear some traffic noise. I'm in urban nature, technically. So yeah, you're going to hear a lot of noises in the background. Sometimes I'll record outdoors. Sometimes I'll record indoors. Sometimes I might record in a place that you just have to guess where I'm at, just for fun. We'll see how it goes. This is an experiment for me, and I'm looking forward to it, honestly. I just want to have fun. Like, yes, we will talk about some serious topics, but I want to do so a bit irreverently, hence the title Irreverent Nerd. Speaking of which, that name actually, I had the idea for it. Originally, I was not going to name a podcast that. That was not even on the table at the time. I've definitely wanted to get into the podcasting world. I've had that dream for a long time. But as to having a specific podcast entitled The Irreverent Nerd, that idea literally just came to me today. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to jump in and do this. Let's go. Anyway, I started an Instagram page, really just for fun. Like, I like creating memes. That's something I got into just this past year. I've enjoyed funny memes for a long time, but never made any until this past year. And I realized I liked it. Like, hey, I kind of like comedy. I don't know if I'm any good at it, but I make myself laugh sometimes, so that counts, right? Maybe I have made a few other people laugh. At least that's what they've told me. I'm assuming they're not just sparing my feelings. But no, I was like, I'm going to have some fun with this. And it's okay if only a very eclectic group of fellow nerds enjoy my humor. That's okay. Those are my people. So yeah, I'm looking for my people. So if you want to listen to a podcast done by a formerly religious nerd who likes to have fun, who enjoys watching football, yes, who listens to Broadway music and sings Broadway songs on occasion, yes, who also listens to rap, who enjoys NF and Eminem, and yes, the 2022 Super Bowl, that halftime was legit. I enjoyed it. I'm like, let's suspend the rest of the game and have a 2-hour concert with Eminem and Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, who I've never heard rap live before, but wasn't too bad. And 50 Cent was in there too. Okay, yeah. I think somebody told me Kendrick Lamar was in there. I don't even know what he looks like. Sorry, I'm not that big of a rap fan, but I do enjoy rap. And I love jazz. Yes, you can probably tell by my voice that I'm a white man. Sue me. I love jazz because I just love good music. Nat King Cole is one of my favorite singers. Like, I might even put it on this podcast at some time. I recorded one of his classics, Nature Boy. Yes, David Bowie also did that, so I will not be the first white man to have done a version of Nature Boy. But Nat King Cole, as I understand it, originated that song, and he knocked it out of the park, as he did every fucking song he ever sang. But I also like Diana Krall, who is an amazing white woman, yes, and a jazz singer, who has also covered a number of Nat King Cole songs. She is the bomb. Yes, I enjoy jazz. I would actually like to sing jazz at some point. I had 2 years of classical voice training, so I know the basics. So, like, if you live in my city, at some point, somewhere down the line, if my dream comes true, you will see me up on a stage somewhere in my city singing a Nat King Cole song. That would be so dope. Yes, I just used that word for the first time. Was it obvious? I think it was obvious. So yeah, I'm a 38-year-old white nerd, recovering religion addict who was trying to make a podcast to heal from some religious trauma, just to have fun, like just to be present in my life and have a good time. You know, and if I end up being the only one who enjoys it, no one else listens to it, I'm okay with that, actually. Yes, I would like some people to listen to it. I would love to like build up a nerd community around this podcast and just like shit. Like if this starts to take off a little bit come May 6th, yes, if you are a fellow nerd, you know what May 6th means. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is coming out. I just saw the Super Bowl trailer yesterday and it looks awesome. I'm excited. I'm a nerd, so sue me. We could like get a group of nerds together to go watch that movie opening night. That would be awesome. Stuff like that. But I also love football. Like if I run across some fellow Arizona Cardinals fans, yes, I'm an Arizona Cardinals fan. Grew up in Arizona. I cheer for Arizona teams. I occasionally cheer for other teams. I don't live in Arizona anymore, but I miss it. Want to go back someday. I'll probably retire there, maybe, if my wife is okay with it. We'll see. Northern Arizona is gorgeous, by the way. Go visit. You should. Arizona Cardinals, man. We fell apart second half of this year, which was very sad. But there's next year. And hopefully Kyler Murray will be back. Some of you probably have no idea who that is. That's okay. There are nerds of all different stripes. Some of us like football. Some of us don't. And yes, you know, I realize that I have to like at least Star Trek or Star Wars. I like both. Sorry. I think most nerds do, to be honest with you. But also, many nerds I have met like one more than the other. I will say I'm probably... You know what? I have more nostalgia for Star Trek because I grew up watching Star Trek The Next Generation. Like, it released when I was 4 years old. I remember as a kid watching it with my dad a few times, and over the years, like, you know, that was my jam, man. Star Trek The Next Generation. You know, and yes, I did watch season 1 of Picard, and yes, I'm looking forward to the next season, which is coming out soon. Yeah, Whoopi Goldberg, Guinan, is coming back. Oh yeah, she is awesome. At least in Star Trek. And Sister Act, of course. Go see Sister Act if you haven't. Anyway. So, welcome to my podcast. I'm keeping this one kind of short and sweet. This is just my initial episode. Having some fun playing around with this. So yeah, we'll see where this goes, man. Like I'm looking forward to it. So thank you for joining me today, and let's go have fun.